beauty-loving unicorns, and welcome back to my channel and this very requested video about how to make your own Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. Wow, that was a really long sentence. Somebody hand me a cookie. Actually, when I first got the request to do this palette, I was like, yes, I want to do that because one, I wasn't gonna get the palette, and two, I thought it had really interesting colors. But then when I started looking at the palette more, I realized the palette only has like 5 interesting colors and the rest you probably already own. If you do not know what this series is about, fluff. If you do not know what this series is about, it is about me trying to find dupes for very popular or overhyped palettes. I'm saying overhyped, but sometimes the hype is real and sometimes it's just way out of hand. And I feel like for this palette, I mean, Anastasia Beverly Hills does some of my absolute favorite formulas for eyeshadows. I love the eyeshadows I have from them, but this palette is another neutral palette with 2 brights. I do get that every brand want to have a neutral palette, but when there's a zillion brands and every brand want to have like 1 or 2 neutral palettes, that's a lot of neutral palettes. They're all trying to tell you that theirs is their best and that theirs is the one that you really need. And I don't know about this one. I didn't get it because I was like, I own this. I own this. And this is what this series is about. This isn't about me 100% duping the colors. I don't even have this palette. This is about talking about what are the color schemes within this palette. What kind of colors could you get or find within your collection to dupe the color scheme of the palette, the feel of the palette. Because sometimes you don't need to buy a whole palette, because sometimes the color that you really want is like 1 or 2, and then just get those, and the rest maybe you have in your collection, or maybe you have the whole palette already in your collection. If you want to hear more thoughts about this series, I will link up here. There will be a little button where I will link the playlist for these, so you can see the other palettes that I've done, and I can talk more about the thought behind it. So this is not me telling you shouldn't get the palette is bad, or that I don't like the brand. The palette is probably amazing. I have swatched it in stores and it seems really nice, but the question you need to ask yourself is, do I already have this? Do I need to buy the whole palette? Because we all need to shop our stash a bit more, and I need that. I need that badly. So this is like a friendly reminder to me and to you that don't give in to the hype of every product. Try to take a step back and look at it and be like, do I have this? Because maybe you do. So this is the palette that I came up with, and as you can see, for this palette I don't even have 9 colors, because half the palette is beiges and neutrals and whites, and you have those, okay? You have those. I don't need to show you any of those. You can look at some of my other videos, you know, the playlist I told you about up here. Just look at that and you can find some other beiges and highlighting colors and transition colors, because that's not the colors that is going to draw you to this palette. What's going to draw you to this palette are these pinky warm tones and this really interesting color that is called Buen Fresco. That one. And I have 2 colors that I want to show you that I think is actually duping that color. So let's start with that one. The first color that I think is duping that color is a color that I actually swatched next to it, because this is Anastasia Beverly Hills Dusty Rose. This is really similar to Buen Fresco, and they're from the same brand and they are still that similar. This just has a bit more pink, and Buen Fresco, I don't know what it's called. It has a bit more of that dusty purple, and this is more dusty pink, but they are so similar. I swatched them next to each other. The brand is almost duping itself. So the next color I want to show you is Unexpected from Makeup Geek, and this is like this color, but it has that dusty purple. Do you see how similar these are? I would say that the actual color, Buen Fresco, is like a mix between these two, because it isn't as purple as this one, but it's not as pink as this one, so it's like a mix between these two. But either one of those 3 you will have that color, and this is such a good color to have in your crease. I love using any of these in my crease, especially if I'm doing something that's not like in... If you don't want to have an orangey color in your crease, any one of these are amazing, and I have mentioned these before in my channel because I think they're really good. So if you're looking at that palette and thinking like, ooh, this is a really interesting color, any of those will dupe that for sure. Next I have a color that is like a dark orangey brown with some red in it, and this also is Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I kind of made a point of picking some Anastasia Beverly Hills because I was like, is she duping her own colors? And I am surprised that nobody has swatched the palette towards some of the singles. I would have loved to see that video because that would have been so interesting. This is Morocco by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is definitely the color scheme of the palette. I love this color, by the way. It doesn't swatch that amazing, but this is so gorgeous in the crease. It is crazy, and it's a really, really nice orangey red brown, and they do have something like this in the palette. I am sure that Cocoa Bear by Makeup Geek would be something similar as well, although this one has a bit more red in it, but potato, potato. In the palette I have a color called Realgar, and this color is Morocco by Makeup Geek, and this is that muted orange that color is. I love this Morocco. It's a beautiful color, and if you're looking for that like a punchy orange that is not like a marmalade orange, this Morocco by Makeup Geek is amazing. I love this color. It's so good. So if you're looking for an orange to put in the crease and you don't want to have the other pinks and all the neutrals, just get Morocco by Makeup Geek. This is an amazing color. Now let's talk about the colors that is actually really interesting with the palettes. They have a really bright, like a fuchsia pink red. So I thought I'd show you a really bright pink and I show you a really bright red. So if you want to go more on the pink side, you have the pink, and if you want to go more on the red side, you have the red, or well, both of them. Both of these are matte. And also in the palette they have like a pinky red shimmer, and this is American Rose by Coastal Scent. So this is $2, and this is that pinky red shimmer, and this is a gorgeous color, by the way, and this is $2, which is mind-blowing, by the way. And if you want to get a really nice punchy red shimmer, really look into this one. I mean, Coastal Scent's shimmers are really good, so if you want to get some inexpensive shadows, you should really check those out. But this one, American Rose, has that a bit of a pinky undertone that the color from the Modern Renaissance palette has as well. So I thought that this one duped it the most. So if you're looking for something like that, just get this one. $2, you're home safe. Now let's talk about this bright pink one. The reason why I have not been doing this video is because I felt like I didn't have that really bright pink fuchsia color to dupe the palette. And at first I didn't find anything, but then I found this one. This is MAC Passionate, and when I saw it in stores I was like, no, that isn't fuchsia enough. But actually this is really that pink red when you get it like on your crease. Do you see how vibrant that is? And actually this color is almost the only color I have on my eyes today. Do you see how this really draws to red when it comes on the skin? Exactly like that color in the palette does. If you use a white base, this will go more pink. If you use more of a skin tone base like I do now, just with concealer under, it will go more red. So that is something to think about if you want to use a pink shadow. I thought today that I was going to use it just with a flesh tone base to bring out the red and make it look a bit more like the one in the Modern Renaissance palette. But I used this one on my lid and I blended it in my crease, and I had like a soft peach transition color. So basically this is the only color that I have on my eyes, and this is how this one looks on the skin. So don't be fooled by how it looks in the pan. I think this one really dupes that matte fuchsia red color in the palette. I thought I'd also show this one. This is Vibrant Red by Coastal Scents, and this is just a matte, really vibrant red color. So if you want to have something that's more red, you can always go for this one. This is a matte as well. Both these two are mattes. This is only $2 from Coastal Scents. So as you can see, this is more of a true red, but this actually resembles the one from the Modern Renaissance palette the most. So, and now that MAC has lowered their prices, if that's the color you actually were looking for, just get this one. It's $6 in the US, so that's like a bargain. So that's pretty much it. This is how I feel like the interesting part of the Modern Renaissance palette, how it looks like. If you have any of these colors you could do looks that looks exactly like the ones in the palette, and I'm sure that you already have some of these colors in your collection at home. If you don't have any neutral palettes, I bet that the Modern Renaissance palette would be a great first neutral palette. But if you have like the 35O, like for me, I have a lot of palettes that have similar color scheme to like the 35O, you know, with the warm orange and blah blah blah. I just got this one, fuchsia pink, and the rest, it's already in the palettes I have. So try to think smart when you shop. Don't just buy because it's hyped up. Think like, do I already own some of this? Maybe I have this palette already within my collection. But also, I'm not the one to tell you to not buy makeup, because I buy a lot of makeup and I love buying makeup. I love collecting makeup. So don't take this as me telling you to buy less makeup. Buy whatever you want. I'm just trying to show another way of thinking, like how you could shop your own stash, because we all need that. Thank you so much for suggesting me to do this palette. I had a lot of fun looking for this color, the Passionate by MAC. It took me a while, and I'm sorry you had to wait for this video, but I really wanted to make it right both for you and for me. If you have any other palettes you'd like me to dupe, please do let me know down below. Although I will tell you, if it's a neutral palette, I'm not gonna dupe it because you probably already own it. I want to have more interesting palettes that have colors that draw you in. So the next palette I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find something really unique. So if you have suggestions for really unique palettes that I could dupe, hit me up down below. I do have some ideas myself. I would love to hear what you think. And I think that was it. If you're not subscribed already, the button is down below. I would love to have you here in our little unicorn family. Thanks again for being here, and I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!